right now, I had a spell on my dog that I charged with fire, and I got it. My mom got it for me at like the Renaissance fair here, and I put it on my dog, and like he walked around with it, and it scared like my dad so bad he kept taking it off my fucking dog. And like in this day and age, the entire United States is a constant. Like you wake up every day to a fourth dimensional space time battle of just every rapist glaring everyone down in the back of the head, keeping everyone like in a dollhouse, like psychopaths and sociopaths are notorious for doing, and then just watching everyone until you recover from rape, and that's it, like period. And it's a constant death threat to scare you away from like noticing, or if they notice, it's just a constant death threat. That's the entire United States, like period. So every day I wake up, I'm just being suffocated for existing, because I'll look forward and see the truth for being a stoner, and like somewhere like way down here is just the entire United States, like looking around in the back of your head. Like they're always going to be at the baseline back of your head, and everything above that is just a death match of people showing up and biting you. Like, can you hear I can't breathe? That's not because I'm a fucking smoker. I'm not even joking. Like, this is where they shove Zach Cadell, and I have to like carry his entire face, and I hate this man profusely. And they talk about schizophrenia on like Sleepy Cabin. I was grateful for that, but they're not even remotely close to an Asian country when it comes to like understanding a real schizophrenic. Like Zach Cadell just screams at Corey, and Corey will then make a cartoon about praising the sun and talk about the water people and everything that's like pure God. And then Zach will just scream and bitch, and his memes on his Twitter show that his pineal gland is so blocked that he's like he had a whole rainbow with like a nasally character, and it's missing his top chakras up here, and like everyone's making me literally carry them physically in the United States, and I'm dying. So just anyone from 88 Rising that's like Chinese and understands Joji fusion, understand Steven Universe is the only thing Americans have to like wake up with right now. Like I'm not even fucking kidding. I'm not like saying anything bad about Steven Universe, but like Joji, I don't know what kind of human being you are physically at all, because Steven Universe is just kind of like your friends meld. You walk out and there they are, and then yeah, aliens. And then have you seen like the Daniel Krogan's cartoon, like Steven's penis, like every single time Pearl says, I don't care. That's like I'll just scream this here, and it's just because like I need people to like literally physically get off me because I'm being strangled alive, and Joji will think it's like some sort of shrieking thing for YouTube likes. That's a wind chime. That's like Colors of the Wind. That's like people honestly like that's even brainwashing. Like every Disney film is brainwashing. So this is God's teeth. I'll at him. I don't think this is like limited run or something. And Joji, honestly, like I can tell spiritually will like think a lot of my clothing is more valuable than like my physical form astrally. Genuinely, like he's stopping me from now having sexual relationships from Asian people subconsciously, because he's too afraid of defeating shamanism in Japan. Basically, he was supposed to defeat the mental health crisis, and he ran away to go fuck people and ignored it profusely. Um, Genuinely, like the book doesn't solve anything. Actually, it just sparks and triggers basically nonstop massacres in the United States. I think most people who would read that book in the United States and think, oh, Christians are all watching me jumping through portals, and I had no fucking idea. And then someone's like, eat shit, Rick and Morty forever. So it sounds like someone's just gonna die somewhere in any angle, and I happen to be the only person here that knows how to stop that. And every single ounce of me is, I'm not gay, but I like dick. And the second I say that, like now, just after being a fan of Filthy Frank, like in general, like I'm not gay, but I like dick. Do you see that? That's my hairline, sir. Like, I'm not even joking. That's my hairline. And I did a book report on Into the Wild in this country, and I said he has schizophrenia. I didn't know what schizophrenia meant then, and I didn't. Most people look at me and they're like, that's not what the book was. He wanted to go on an adventure and he died. You're fucking stupid. Like, everyone looked at that man and killed him in this country because they either knew what they were doing or they didn't know at all. And they just looked forward and he died. Okay? That's what this country is. And I understand, like, Japan, like, you look forward and you walk into a suicide forest, but it's like, that demon is so much different, and subconsciously Joji tends to just blame everything on me because he couldn't like become a shaman in Japan, especially as a Christian. He's probably horribly heavily targeted more than most people, especially in having seizures. He was like incredibly weak, and I get that. But if you really look at shamanism in the United States, it turns into MK Ultra. And you see the birds, honestly, and none of this is real whatsoever. And like Stranger Than Fiction and Donnie Darko, and I have to just keep like looking forward as people possess me, and like my higher self goes to the rabbit gods of my neighborhood because there's just bunnies everywhere and like deer and coyote and shit. And they're all eating like bunnies, and the bunnies cycle through life and death so quickly in time, and everyone's just like every single day looking forward, trying to like figure out if they have to kill you yet. Um, like the rabbit god cycles so quickly it scares people. It looks like the Donnie Darko guy because life and death with a bunny is short, so you have to be incredibly sharp. Like, everyone looks at me like, oh, it's a prey animal, honey. Like, be a lion, girl. But the lion is just gonna sit there in the sun until someone challenges it. And if you think about like percentage and IQ and like challenge, like the bunnies mass total, if I keep praising all like the hordes of bunnies and the prairie dogs, I'm gonna have like the quickest IQ when it comes to life and death in a fraction of a second. And that's what I had to learn to survive the United States. Like George Miller, you're constantly raping me because you're afraid of death, and you've turned me into like every time I think of anything Asian, Joji's like already in me picking my gender and like winning the argument because he like saw a problem 10 years before and like made sure he could like not stop it. And it's like true love, but it's been like 10 animes and you need to cry for like 5 hours. And I have like a heart condition from the shots because the voices aren't real in this country. Okay, like I'm completely serious. I don't think many countries treat like the severe schizophrenics very well. I know this is like some sort of like really poor, really bad disorder in Japan. If you can't function, work a job or nothing. But every time I get close to saying I'm low functioning in this country, I'm gonna be strangled alive. So I don't talk about it whatsoever, at all. And every time I beg for help on the internet, it's talking about schizophrenia and why I'm low functioning. And just like you can go ahead and start over any video I've ever made, ever.